Let's be honest, the internet gets a lot of things wrong, but the whole Spider-Man versus Magneto debate, that's a classic. When you picture this fight, you see the master of magnetism, an Omega-level mutant who commands the electromagnetic spectrum, one of the fundamental interactions in the universe. And on the other side, a guy who swings on glorified ropes. You imagine cars flying, buildings twisting, and Spider-Man getting buried under a mountain of steel. That's the story everyone tells. But what if the key to this whole fight isn't about metal at all? What if one specific version of Spider-Man has the perfect, tailor-made counters to Magneto's biggest strengths? Today, we're breaking down how Tobey Maguire's unique Spider-Man, with his biological webbing and hyper-tuned spider sense, could potentially exploit Magneto's hidden weaknesses for one of the most shocking upsets in Marvel history. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Magneto is terrifyingly powerful. On paper, he should end this fight from a distance without breaking a sweat. He can manipulate magnetic fields with enough force to move mountains, create nearly impenetrable force fields, and has faced down entire teams of Avengers by himself. He's a genius, a strategist, and not someone to be taken lightly. But we're not talking about just any Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's version, thanks to director Raimi's creative choices, brings two game-changing factors to the table that other Spideys don't. First, and this is the big one, his webbing is organic. Unlike the mechanical web shooters of his counterparts, which Magneto could crush, disable, or turn into tiny metal prisons, Tobey's webbing is a biological part of him. It's a non-metallic protein strand. This is huge. It means Spider-Man's main tool for movement, trapping, and offense remains in his control. He can swing, he can bind, he can blind. And Magneto likely has no direct control over the webs themselves. Second is his spider sense. This isn't just a slight buzz. The Raimi films portray it as an almost supernatural form of precognition. He dodges attacks he can't see, reacts to threats before they happen, and moves through pure chaos with impossible grace. Against an opponent like Magneto, who can fill the air with a literal hurricane of deadly metal, this awareness is Spidey's single greatest defensive asset. And what about Magneto's weaknesses? For all his godlike power, you have to remember, underneath that helmet, Magneto is still just a man. His powers require concentration. While his force fields have famously withstood nuclear blasts, his physical body is vulnerable. This is the tiny crack in his armor that this specific Spider-Man is uniquely equipped to exploit.
Picture the fight. It starts just like everyone thinks it will. Magneto scoffs, floats into the air, and rips a city block apart. Lamppost cars and steel girders come screaming toward Spider-Man in a tidal wave of metal. But this is where the script flips. Spider-Man isn't trying to punch his way through the debris. He's moving. His spider sense is on fire, guiding him through a lethal storm that would have instantly shredded anyone else. He's not just dodging, he's using the chaos Magneto creates. He leaps off a thrown taxi, swings under a twisted bus, and uses the momentum to close the distance. Magneto, confident, raises a shimmering force field, ready for whatever physical attack is coming. But Spidey isn't aiming for him. The strategy here isn't to break the shield, but to bypass it. He fires glob after glob of organic webbing, not at Magneto's chest, but at his face. The non-metallic substance splatters across Magneto's helmet, blinding him. For just a split second, Magneto's concentration could be broken. The storm of metal might falter. In that one moment of disorientation, Spider-Man is already there. He doesn't need to shatter a force field that has blocked attacks from gods, he just needs it to flicker. He swings in under Magneto's guard, his superhuman strength coiled for one decisive blow. Before Magneto can reestablish control, before he can react, Spider-Man lands a punch that could shatter concrete. This isn't about overpowering Magneto's magnetism, it's about outthinking him, outmaneuvering him, and exploiting the human inside the helmet. So, who actually wins this thing? Under these very specific circumstances, the impossible could happen. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man takes the win. This isn't a victory of raw power, but of pure strategy and perfect counters. The theory is that he wins by potentially neutralizing Magneto's primary weapon with his organic webbing, surviving the initial assault with his precognitive spider sense, and exploiting the momentary weakness created by a simple, non-metallic attack. This fight proves that in any versus battle, it's not just about who's stronger, it's about how their powers clash. Tobey's unique biological advantages create the perfect hypothetical scenario for an upset, turning what looks like a one-sided blowout into a true underdog story. But hey, that's just our take. Do you think Tobey Spider-Man could really pull off this impossible win? Or is the master of magnetism simply on another level? Let us know your verdict in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more legendary fights.